Okay, hello, and welcome to the show, everyone. Alliance Live Show is back and ready to rock and roll. Episode 128 come right at you. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We got our top 5, we got our Q&A as usual, and we've got the whole fam with us tonight. So, first and foremost, the beautiful face above mine, as usual, is my good friend and compadre, good old Maurice. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. And we're also joined by the lovely and talented Avinash. How you doing, Avi?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. And, of course, from the Reality Skewed Gamers, RangerJ1999. How you doing, buddy?
Yes.
So, let's do it. We had the Jedi Academy stream yesterday. So for any of those that didn't see it, Warrior was on there, and he talks about whether or not he's coming back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. He's not, but nonetheless. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely go to Reality Skewed Gamers, check that out. But what I wanted to start off the show with today, guys, was a topic that we discussed on the live stream yesterday also, which is the new requirements that were released for the Galactic Legend characters. So we did get another set of requirements, and it looks like the dreaded Rose Tico has been dropped onto the list of requirements. So thoughts, guys? What do you guys think about Rose and some of the more obscure characters now actually making their way to the list?
Expected.
Yeah.
I knew that they were gonna dig at the bottom of the barrel.
I had hope, but we kind of knew that this was coming. Oh Jesus.
I mean, I guess it was to be expected. Let's pull up the requirements here so we can look at it together. So we'll look at the ones for Rey. The prerequisites are a Relic. So now not only do we have to have Rose Tico at Relic 5, but we also have to have Amilyn Holdo, which I guess makes sense because she has a new capital ship, so you probably want to get her Relic anyway because she's a capital ship captain, But Resistance Hero Finn, a character that 99% of the population does not even have. Okay, that just literally became free to play a few days ago. So, I mean, obviously we knew that this was going to happen. Do we think here that Resistance Hero Poe is going to be required also? I don't think so, right? At this point, I think it's just ships the rest of the way.
I don't know. They could throw anything at us at this point. I mean, once you've got Rose in the mix, anything is possible. It could be one character in 3 ships. It could be 2 characters in 2 ships. It could be 4 characters. It could be 3 characters in something. I mean, at this point, I mean, all bets are off.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible, that's for sure. But, I mean, I feel like Poe is missing, right? Like, you thought they totally were going to add Poe. I mean, so on the other side, it was...
Hux got left off. Sith Trooper is the one that they went with for the new character.
Hux got left off, but are they going to add the finalizer? Because if they add the finalizer, then you need Hux anyway, right?
Well, yes.
You would think so.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if you don't need the Radis or the finalizer in the as the final one. I would be shocked. They'll probably release it just in time, just as the Radis is about to leave the store in 12 hours. They'll release that you need these ships.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I already have the Radish at 7 stars, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I thought about it. I mean, before I make a move, because I'll just do the 900 crystals, right? That's like the best thing to do, and just get it that way. But I'm waiting to see, because I want to see what the last 4 are before I make big, bold moves here, right? I need to know what the last 4 are going to be.
Are you guys clearing that bonus node on the finalizer?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I did it 3 times.
Yeah, but not easily.
I haven't been able to. I wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, that's mainly because my Hux isn't really that well, and and stuff like that. I mean, my ships have really characters. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it's like I'm going to get my finalizer higher. I didn't have the fleet currency to finish into 85 and some other things. So, I mean, when he comes back around, yeah, I'll do it again, for the bonus tier and get the extra shards, things of that nature. But he'll be a slower farm because again,
you're not missing much. It's pretty bad.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the direction you're going. Either you're going Ray or you're going Kylo, unless you're Kraken, you're going to get both. But I mean, it's going to take you a while. I mean, the reason I'm sure, Gom, you're in this position, I'm in this position, that we're going for the ones that we're going for is because we already had the characters Gear 12 with some Gear 12 plus pieces on them. It wasn't that big a thing, and then they just added a character. Like for me, if I could start right now in first order. I'd have to take my special forces up, and I'd have to get my veteran Han to both 12, which I could easily do. Right? Then I'm just hoarding. The reason I haven't started taking more characters up to Relic is because I want to see what the last 4 are. Because now that I'm going for Rey and Finn's a part of it, a lot of my crystals stuff is all about getting those extra shards out of the store, whether it's 8, whether it's 4, whether it's 16. It's about refreshing his node every day. And then if Radis is going to be needed, then I'll pump a bunch of crystals that I've got saved up into that. But you have to kind of make that decision. And I'm already past gas and everything. So, but Jesus, you just look at it. Every day I'm farming gear is my primary focus besides these characters. And it's like, woo! It's a lot of gear, folks. It's a lot of gear. You don't kid yourself. It's a lot of gear.
Well, it's something, I didn't even mention this on the stream yesterday, but something that TMoney was kind of predicting is you need these tickets to access the event.
Right.
And they said, every time you access the event is not intended to be difficult. You should be able to clear it multiple times or something. It kind of alluding to that these are going to be like shard drops.
Right. You have to beat the event and collect shards to unlock it.
Yes, that's kind of. And after she said that, I reread it, and then I was like, wow, that does make total sense. I mean, that's what I think we all haven't been encouraging. Like, don't relic the characters. Like, if it comes out, it's going to be a 6-month process where you have to collect 8 shards at a time. Like maybe, I don't know, stockpile your tickets, I don't know. There's so much that's still unknown. Like,
yeah,
Relic 5 Rose Tico is not going to do you any good. It's going to hurt you if you're not able to get the character for 6 months anyway. Like, it's
right.
Just hoard everything. I'll hoard all the Relic stuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it one day at a time. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna rush when it comes out. I've still got a lot of all my characters are basically G12 except for a couple of the brand new characters until I get them start up enough. But the gear is just a slugfest in trying to get it. It's just like a big wow. I mean, I saved about 2,000 Carbantes. So on one of my accounts, so I'm good there, but still.
Well, yeah, it's the other pieces that you need for Gear 12 Plus too, right? Yeah. The right side, which is the eyeballs, the stun cuffs. So looking at the characters right now, for say instance the resist on the right side pieces, you need at least 250, probably 300 stun cuffs. You need at least 200 black eyeballs. You need the MK5 ones for the actual Gear 12 Plus to Relic piece. So there's a lot of pieces like that on top of that.
The 4 new characters take Kyrotex before, early.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stuck now. And
that's where I'm stuck, yeah.
The new Finn and Poe seem to be kind of like Zeb and Kanan. They take the exact same stuff. They both, where I'm at, they both take a droid collar, which get rare when you start getting into the Gear 13. Droid collar, they both take a hollow projector, and they both take the double Kyrotech piece. I'm just sitting there. I just can't do anything with them right now.
And until I get mine to 7 stars, I'm not going to jump all over the gear for him. You know, what I mean, it's like there's no point. I'm not going to use him in GAC. I mean, he's about to be forced. I think I'll have him 4-star tomorrow, and then working on 5 stars. It's like I got a ways to go with these shards. So until I get him 7-star, there's no point of jumping all over the GP and stuff. And just keep farming Kyrotex and keep farming this gear. I'm just hoarding everything, and then I'm using my cantina strictly for scrap. I've got so much scrap right now, but you don't realize. Yeah, some of them, especially the 5, is not that bad. The characters you have to take to 7 are going to suck. So both Rays are going to suck. Both Kylos are going to suck, right? So hopefully we don't have the more Relic 7 ones. But I've been collecting the shit out of shower drains and other stuff like that because I think I've got like 440 shower drains right now.
You'll need them all, man, for that piece, that salvage, yeah.
Well, getting Kylo to Relic 7 isn't the worst because he has the ship also, and then on top of that, you know, I mean, like, he's still a good character. Rey, I think, is a little bit less relevant, but I mean, you know, again, I think the most important question we really have to be trying to answer here is, like, how good are Galactic Legend Rey and Kylo? Because at the end of the day, if they're just, you know, average characters, if they're not, like, meta-defining, have to have them characters, then none of this really matters. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's you know, if the meta is still General Anakin Skywalker, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So... You know, so, but I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, obviously they're not going to, you know, create 2 characters with the most ridiculous requirements in the history of the game and then not make them ridiculous. I mean, I'd imagine they're going to be ridiculously awesome. They have to be. But I mean, will they offset each other? Also, they said that there's going to be like some special rules with these characters. So, I mean, like, I don't know what that means either. You know, so
can't
it's
use them on the same team.
Yeah, maybe, you know.
No, that's not a maybe. They said that.
You won't be able to use them together. Okay. Right. Okay. That's weird. That's never happened before. There's no characters that you've ever been able to not put together in the game before. But yeah, I mean that's interesting. So that's what I mean. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, like Maurice mentioned earlier. You know, so it's really too early to start dumping all of the resources in. You know, I would do like Ranger's doing and just kind of get everything ready to Gear 12, Gear 13, because at the end of the day, you know, you're going to have to do it at some point. But, I mean, listen, you know, putting the extra final capping, you know, like a Relic 5 on Rose Tico right now may not be necessary at the moment. I would say hold off on Amlin. I mean, maybe Amlin Holdo, again, you know, maybe somebody that you need to get done. And it really depends on where you are with your roster. So at the end of the day, if you have a great resistance, you know, team and your resistance is built out really well, then yeah, I mean, go for it. You know, get Resistance Hero Finn up there, and you know, get the characters all together. But yeah, I mean, to see that they decided to go Rose Tico, which is a character that you know, many of us. I'm sure Finn's happy. You know, Finn has a Zeta on Rose Tico. You know,
well, not really, because that's the only Zeta he's really excited about. Yeah, so that kind of works against him. He's still working on gas, so he's going to be a long time. He just has, just because of what he did, he has one character done, but that doesn't even come close to getting the other characters. I mean, it's a lot of relics, and you know, I'm just thinking about. You know, if you've been a long time player like us, I have a ton of salvage that I can turn into relics. It's not a problem for me. But I'm just thinking of like new players that are going to try to get these, and then trying to relic and stuff, and gear this bigger. It's crazy.
But it's not just the salvage. It's those pieces you have to get at a cantina, right? And a lot of people, you know, I just finished up. You know, I just finished up the trooper, the ARC Trooper. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a lot of people are still farming that guy. And,
it's a decision you have to make.
And these are the requirements here on the screen now for Kylo. You know, so they added Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, who's getting a rework with Veteran Smuggler Veteran Smuggler Chewie. So that's cool. And then they added Sith Trooper, and probably I would say First Order Special Forces TIE Fighters probably one of the more niche characters, but some people have him. I mean, you know, some people definitely have him.
He's very niche.
Yeah.
He's very, very useful if you have the mods to work with him. He's incredibly difficult to mod because he's a special damage character that relies solely on crit chance, right? So it's like trying to get Palpatine or Grandmaster Yoda's special crit chance up to like 70-80%. It's incredibly difficult. Like you need like mods with 4+ rolls of crit chance for 7-8% in the secondaries to really get the most out of him. And it's tough. He's tough to use, but if you can do it, he's incredibly useful. His ship, we'll talk about that later. His ship is very, very good with the finalizer, if not, you know, the second most important one to have. So I don't think the relic levels on him are terrible. Kind of like, you know, like the Resistance pilot. Everyone bitched about it, but if you get Radis, you're gonna want that Resistance pilot relic. So it's you know, the characters themselves might not be the most useful, but their ships are incredibly important. So it's, you know, it's kind of a, you don't want to do it, but you'll be glad you did when you finally get that final fleet complete, you know. So it's.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, they're going to create a reason for you to have every character in this game Relic 7. So, I mean, like, that's the goal, right? So, it's going to be piece by piece. I really like Sith Trooper a lot as a character, period. So, I think that's an awesome investment. I mean, I don't think that's a problem at all, getting him to Relic 5. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have any kind of built-out First-Order team, even if you're not going to have Kylo Ren yet, you know, Galactic Legend Kylo, I mean, you know, having Sith Trooper... ready to rock and roll, I think would help out any First Order team for you know, for TW or TB or, you know, anything. And, you know, I don't know how good veteran smugglers are going to be after the rework, but, you know, I think that, you know, them getting a rework and, you know, while they're being required to be relic kind of is cool too. You know, at least they're getting an update to their abilities on top of the requirements. So, like, now it's, you know, there's a chance that you could use them in some of these resistance teams.
Well, I think the upgrade to those two is great for newer players, because you have to get these two characters. But then now when you get Jedi Training Rey, you can instantly use these two veterans that you had to gear up anyway to get her, right? Like before, you just take these two irrelevant characters, Gear 8, Gear 9, and there's nowhere to use them. But now, if you do get those characters, you know, Gear 8, Gear 9, get your Training Rey, you can keep developing them, use them with Rey in the interim, and then you can kind of go for Kylo down the road. I think this is out of all the things that are negative about, that people have to say about, you know, these events, I think this in particular, while it sucks that I have to take Veteran Smuggler Honda 3, it's very helpful to new players and like beginning players. I think this will help them out, give them some extra options to use with their Rey initially. So I think that was a cool rework.
Well, I mean, how good do you think that Veteran Smuggler Han and Chewie are going to be after this rework?
There'll be options. You know, like Veteran Smuggler Han, if you do, well, let's assume that Galactic Legend Rey has a lead, right? So you might not need Jedi Training Rey on that team. So you use Jedi Training Rey, and you know, Veteran Smuggler Han has an AoE. And underneath that Rey lead, that's basically an AoE expose. There's 50% chance that he's going to expose in every single one of those hits, right? So then you could use somebody like him. You could use Old Poe to even do even more expose, and you basically have a bunch, and R2D2 as well. You get lots of AoE expose type moves now, and you can just turn meter lock a team. I think he'll be very good versus the bugs or something like that. Just you turn meter lock them with exposes. So and like Resistance Trooper.
So what we may get out of this is possibly, you know, with the addition of Galactic Legend Rey, you know, possibly 2 full Resistance teams that we can use out there now.
I think so. Yeah, I figure you have lots of options. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the new Rey kit has some sort of Inspire mechanic that kind of goes with the Resistance hero Finn and Poe. So I have a feeling they're going to be like a trio you want to keep together. So you can have lots of options for a secondary team. We'll see. I just find it hard to believe those two characters have such a unique ability in the Inspire mechanic, and just the new Rey won't synergize with that. It just like Kylo might be able to have some sort of maybe something to synergize with dominance from Hux, right? They put these 2 new abilities in the game, so I'd be shocked if the new characters didn't, you know, have something to do with that. We'll see.
Just to answer one question here. Normally we save the questions for the end, but because it's relevant to what we're discussing right now, Kyray MWs is asking, do we just assume that Vet Chewie will be required for Galactic Legend Rey now? I don't think so. I got to tell you, I think that that's it for the character requirements for these characters. I think that the last 4, you're talking about a capital ship and 3 other ships are going to be the last 4 requirements for each character. So I think that whatever character-wise is required right now, I think that's it. I think the only caveat, maybe what we discussed earlier, that being that the finalizer, being that it's Hux's ship, will require that you also have Hux, right? So, you know, that means you'll have to have like a nicely leveled Hux for the event as well. Probably have to have a relic Hux also. So that's one thing, but Besides that, I don't think they're going to add Vet Chewie as a requirement. Additionally, no. I think that the last 4 on each side are a capital ship and 3 ships with them. I think that's where we're going there. That's my opinion.
Well, I don't think they have to. I think what they've done by putting in veteran smuggler Han is you're just gonna, if you get him to Relic 3, you're gonna naturally want to get his tag team partner up too, right? Like they just kind of nonchalantly just kind of inspired everybody to level up both of them because you got one. It's like having Biggs but no Wedge. It's like
Right.
Biggs okay, but he's a lot better with Wedge. So it's just kind of the same thing I think here. And Chewie's really, really good. Chewie's the single target damage dealer. Han's more of the utility AOE sort of debuffing unit. So I'm very interested to see how they interact with these resistance characters. I was kind of hoping we'd get the tag done. I could get the test account, play around with it and see, but
I remember that was the worst when you had like a 7-star, like geared up Wedge Antilles and they did the rework to Wedge Antilles fixing, they fixed that bug with him where his damage was starting to actually proc now. Or he was like, I think he wasn't doing the additional damage on characters with defense down or something like that. There was something that was wrong with his kit and then they fixed it. And then it was like, now everybody had to, once you saw how awesome it was now, like you had to go and level up Biggs Arclighter, but fortunately Biggs has a ship too, and it's actually a really good ship, so it doesn't matter, but...
Oh, that's right. Wedge was an Erodium character, and he was trash. He was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And then they fixed him as soon as the Erodium pack went away. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so... Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, the requirements are what they are. Like I said, I think that we don't know what these characters' kits are yet. We don't know how relevant they're going to be. I would go ahead and have to assume that they're going to be pretty darn awesome if they're going to have these kinds of requirements. But again, I think that for the most part, we're talking about months and months and months for most people to get these characters. I think that they're going to be kind of like a part of the events tab there. I think the event will stay around. I don't think it's going to be like they're going to suddenly drop this and then you have 7 days to do it. I think it's going to be like the event is just going to always be available, and like whenever you get the requirements ready to go and try it, then that's when you'll be able to get your Galactic Legends. So I think that once the event drops, I think they'll always be available. So because, I mean, it's such a long slog. There's no way that anybody's going to be... Again, there will be people that are ready day one, but I'm saying like a vast majority of the player base won't be. So, it's going to be a situation where a lot of us are going to be trying to, play catch-up at the end. And, I would just, like Ranger said and Maurice said, just hold off for now and just kind of get some more data and see what else is required, and we'll go from there. I mean, but it's nonetheless, it looks like it's progressing here. I think we'll finally get the event. What are we thinking here? Maybe it'll drop in March at some point.
That's what they said, March. We don't know when in March. So.
Yeah,
it's March 1st. So
probably the end
of March.
Tomorrow
it'll be dropped out.
No. I would say probably the end of March. I would say realistically, maybe mid March to end of March. But we'll see. Anyway, let's move along to our top 5 in the meta report as usual. So, here we go. Top 10 leaders at rank 1. Now, General Anakin Skywalker is taking up literally 75% of the pie. So, gas meta is here.
Of the pie myself.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you were looking for he's got most of the pizza. Is General Anakin Skywalker. He takes most of the pie. And then there's a little bit of giblets left over there for Darth Revan and Padme Amidala. But I mean, really, it's you're living in a gas world right now, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the gas meta is here to stay for a while, I think. And I don't know. I mean, it looks like this is gonna be the case. Why does it always have to be this way? Why does it always have to be like one character that just dominates the pie? Can't we just get like a little bit of a? I mean, wouldn't it be nice for once to see like it divided into like 4 different characters?
It would be nice. It would be really nice I would love to have more variety.
Yeah. You know, it's just the way it is. But hopefully at some point, maybe Galactic Legend Rey and Kylo dropping at the same time like that will be like that. Maybe they'll kind of rival gas and be, of like equal power, where Galactic Legend Kylo can beat Galactic Legend Rey, Galactic Legend Rey can beat Galactic Legend Kylo, and both of them can beat gas. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? If there was like some sort of a rock, paper, scissors meta here coming soon, that'd be nice. Because it seems like gas really trumps Darth Revan, right? I mean, like, you're not really beating gas with Revan.
No, I'd be shocked if we don't... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you can, but I mean, the reason you see so much gas is that one is because most people are they've gotten their Darth Revan team secondary now, so...
Yeah.
I mean, some people might... You can still beat gas with Revan, I mean, on offense, because the AI is stupid. But, most people don't even bother, and it's too easy of a meta just to use gas versus gas if you have knowledge.
So DSP mentioned at the very end there, number 10 on the top 10 leaders at rank 1 is correct, and this will probably give Maurice an erection. Stormtrooper Han,
yeah,
makes his way to number 10.
Yeah, we had Clash on our stream on Thursday, and we discussed this team. Great depth. This team is pretty cool. ST Han lead, Han, Chewie, Vandor, Chewbacca, and Watt takes care of General Skywalker pretty easily. So you probably see that rise a little bit. You probably won't see it rise too much because it requires a Relic, Stormtrooper, Han, and Vandor, Chewbacca. So it's a little, we might, and honestly, we might even see Bosk. Bosk might show up towards the bottom here. Same exact team. Instead of Stormtrooper Han, you have Bosk, and Bosk is a character a lot of people already have Relic, so that's a possibility as well. I'd be shocked. I bet over the next few weeks we'll actually see Padme climb a little higher and start catching up with Darth Revan, because Padme is a pretty easy counter. There's a guy that watches the show, and he's on RSG chat the other night where I was talking to him. His Kai Bears. He's constantly talking about how easy gas is with Padme. I was like, whatever. I looked at his team, and I built it today when I was doing a remod, and sure enough, I beat just no idea what I was doing. Went there, second try, figured it out, and just climbed, 6-7 gases in a row. So it's a pretty easy counter.
Well, yeah, because the AI does do stupid stuff. And if you've got decent relics, and you've got a really good relic Padme team, you're going to get that stacks of courage, and you're going to lay pain. You do.
So, it's awesome to watch too. You just let it build up. And as soon as you topple gas that first time, you can just wipe out all 4 characters in like 5 turns. It's pretty cool to see. So I might have to have that kind of in my pocket for the future. But it does take Grandmaster Yoda. That's the problem. So your Jedi Revan tree might suffer a little bit. You better have a good Ezra. So it's we'll see. It's interesting.
Yeah, if you don't have gas ready and you need a team, it's definitely GR.
So you guys heard it here first. Saint Han working his way back into relevancy.
Yeah, all 8 of them.
One day at a time. one payout at a time. Stormtrooper Han working his way back to the top. Yeah. But that's our top 10 leaders at rank 1. Moving along to our top 10 squad members. Pretty standard stuff here. I mean, you're looking at the clones in the forefront here, obviously with the gas lead, and then behind them you still have the remnants of the Darth Revan team, save Jedi Knight Anakin, who's a huge part of every Padme team. And he's probably on some gas teams, I would imagine too. So, but Jedi Anakin there. So I mean, yeah, they're pretty much the Sith Empire. Falling to the back of the lot here with the clones and the General Skywalker meta at the forefront. Pretty much like a huge difference here. I mean, like there's tons of 5s and Rex and Echo and ARC Trooper, and ARC Trooper is a great addition to that team. So, but for those. Yeah, for those people that don't have a 7-star ARC Trooper yet, and they're probably running a Jedi Knight Anakin in there as an alternative. So,
no, you want to run Snips.
Snips.
That's the first tag for your gas.
Okay, that makes sense. But that is our top 10 squad members at rank 1. We're going to move along to the top 5 this week. and this week we are doing top 5 ships for finalizer squads. So top 5 ships to run with your finalizer. Figured this was a good time to go ahead and dive into that. And Maurice has a wonderful one for us this week. So let's go ahead and dive into the top 5. And who do we have at number 5 this week, Maurice?
The 4 first order ships and the 1 first order.
Yeah. Well, just a little heads up. I did exclude Houndstooth on purpose. He'd definitely be on the list, but I mean that's not very fun. So do keep in mind what's his name? Houndstooth has been excluded, but number 5 is indeed the first order TIE pilot. He is number 5, and he is the same ship he's always been. Does good damage. There is a lot of target lock synergy on this team, and he will continue to do his special over and over and over again. Nothing's really changed, but remember when you use your first order ships in the starting lineup, that you instantly get granted the reinforcement bonus. This is not one I start with, particularly, like, I don't personally use in the starting lineup, but I'd imagine if you do use it, you get that 15% bonus turn meter for all your ships initially. If somebody in the chat has used this and can verify or say this is wrong, please do so now. But you should, in theory, get the 15% turn meter initially, giving your ships a little boost. Good damage. As you can see here, I do actually have a Relic. I wish I could take those back, but I cannot. So I do have a Zeta and Relic first order TIE pilot, and his ship is by far the least impressive out of the 4, in my opinion. That's why he's number 5. So
I like that he can go again with his special attack every time if there's a buff that he dispels the first time. That's kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, there's really nothing super flashy here. And yeah, I mean, listen, of course, the list is going to be pretty predictable. We're going to be going first order synergy here. So the ships are going to be first order. But knowing which order and that's probably the best for you to get them prepared, can be a benefit as well. Just to know which order they probably synergize best. And yeah, obviously there will be some ships that we leave out here that will work as well. But we can do only 5 or 6, in the top 5. So let's go on to the number 4 ship to run with the finalizer, and that is Sunfax Geonosian Starfighter.
Yes, indeed. The first order is a stun lock team. That's exactly what it is, and what better to run as your tank than a stunning tank ship? You can pull it off the bench. It will give you a stun, or you can hit a buffed enemy and it will also stun them. That's essentially what you do with the finalizer, because if you guys have played with a finalizer, you know that it runs out of steam very, very quickly, right? So you have to delay, and we'll get to the ships in a minute that you need, but you just want to delay the Houndstooth, delay Anakin, delay the Hyena Bomber from taunting. Just delay everything you can so you can get more target locks down. You can fuel turn meter to the ship we just talked about, first order TIE pilot. You can ramp up Kylo's damage, and you really just have to ramp the team up. You can distribute 1, 2, maybe 3 hunted, really boost the damage of that AoE. The finalizer ship does good damage. It's almost like an extra ship out there. Some of the other capital ships, while they have cool little mechanics to go with their abilities, the finalizer does do good damage from its actual abilities. So it's you just kind of play the target locks, play the stuns, and Sunfac will help you, especially versus Malevolence or like any sort of Galactic Republic or even the Rebels. Pretty much all the fleets now have so many buffs going around that he's almost going to guarantee going to be taunting all the time. So he's a very good ship to have. As you can see, I need to work on my Sunfac a little bit. I guess it's time to do that. But pretty cool. These first 2 ships we discussed have been in the game since ship launch. So these are ships everybody should have. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as the tank is concerned, Sunfax probably the best next to the Houndstooth, I would say. I don't know. That's my opinion. I mean, you could say Biggs Darklighter or something else, but I would say definitely, in my opinion, the second best tank ship in the game. And obviously, yes, being able to stun is a huge benefit. And again, like Maurice said, 2 ships that you should probably have. They've been around a very long time. So let's move along to our number 3 ship to run in a finalizer squad with the new finalizer capital ship. And what do we have here, Maurice? Well, I believe number 3 is going to be the command shuttle. This is a ship that you probably want to put in your starting lineup because the first order ships that you do begin the battle with get a huge 50% max health bonus, and every time the command shell does a basic attack, it gives itself protection up, which, like the character side of things, is based off your max health. So the more max health you have, the more protection up you're going to get from that basic attack. This team, I said, it's a stun lock team. It's also a lot of turn meter gain, turn swapping. This is a way that you can give Kylo Silencer more and more turns. You can give him directly 100% turn meter. You can remove turn meter from actually the shuttle itself and distribute turn meter to all the rest of the first order team. It has a dispel, which is pretty important. You'll need that, and just all sorts of kind of just interesting. It's a support ship. It's labeled support ship, and it truly is one of the game's very few support ships. I like this ship a lot. If you do start with it, or if you bring it off the bench, you'll notice when the reinforcements come in, they lose some turn meter immediately. That can't be resisted, so they won't be able to use their reinforcement ability right away. You'll have a little bit of time there to maybe either to stun the ship and just prevent it altogether, or just, whatever the case is. It's a very good ship. It's kind of cool that it's actually got a home now. So that's good to see. I'm pretty excited for this ship because this is a ship I've had a long time. I've used a lot, but it's always just kind of been for fun, not because it's the best. So now I'm kind of excited about getting in there with this one, especially when I relic Phasma and Kylo to 7. This is going to be a pretty powerful ship.
Well, this has actually been a really good ship for a really long time. It just didn't have any synergy with anything, right? Because at the end of the day, there was no first order synergy with ships. We had a few miscellaneous first order ships, and this kind of gives you a reason to start getting your, besides obviously the event coming, to get your Phasma ready, get your first order stormtrooper, up to snuff if he isn't already. But Kylo Ren, first order stormtrooper, Phasma. This is also a very powerful ship because of the amount of characters that are tied to it. So the total power of the ship is going to be pretty high. And additionally, again, it has a lot of support type synergies that help out and give bonuses to the entire team. So it's a great ship to have as a utility ship. Like Maurice said, this could definitely be a starter for your finalizer squads.
This is actually a ship a lot of people, like veteran players, probably don't have because this got placed on the side.
I do. No, pick me.
I have it. I have it.
Kind of like Jango Fett, or is either Jango Fett or Houndstooth got placed on the node after. Yes, Jango Fett got placed on the Houndstooth node after a lot of people finished the Houndstooth. The command shell got placed on the Scion node, or vice versa. Like this is a ship that not many people have, but newer players will get this ship whether they like it or not because they're going to be going for Scion. That's a very good node. It's got Scion. It's got those MK7 shield generators that every character needs, and those MK4 laptops. It's a very, very good node for beginning players because you want Scion for sure. So you'll get this ship just kind of passively as you farm. So this is
Science.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Right. That's our number 3 ship to run with the finalizer. Moving along to our number 2, we have the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter.
Yes, this is a ship, like I kind of alluded to at the beginning of the ship. This ship is the key to your success with the finalizer squad. As I mentioned, it's a stun lock team, right? And as you guys know, that you get the reinforcement abilities if you start the ships out underneath the finalizer. And its reinforcement ability, your first order ships get 40%, 80% actually. It's 40% potency, double for first order allies, and then the opposing enemies get negative 20% tenacity. Ships like the Houndstooth, if they're not taunting, they have a tenacity bonus. So this way, you kind of overcome that. You're able to land Kylo's stuns. The first order Special Forces TIE Pilot has an assist move that will land an ability block. You can call Kylo in again. If you hit the ability block and miss the stun, you got the stun and ability block, 2 stuns, and then you can actually use the finalizer's first move. Instead of using the hunted, you can use his assist move with Kylo again, and you have a chance to stun all 3 ships before they even get a chance to go. That is a pretty cool thing. It's incredibly difficult to do, but it's an option. And I guess we'll probably see more of that once people get the 7-star finalizers, because I think at 5-star, mine is like 160 speed with the Relic 4 Hux. I mean, yes, it gets a speed bonus, but it really that's not very fast. Even with the speed bonus, if you use 2 ships, the negotiators, the malevolences, any of the other ships, home one, they're all going to go first. So, it is something to keep in mind. But this ship is one to kind of work on, guys. If you're interested in the finalizers, this ship's very, very important. It's got an AOE dots, so it can synergize with TIE Advanced as well. TIE Advanced is a good ship. It didn't make the top 5, spoiler alert, but it could have. It's a good ship for this finalizer off the bench as well. So this is I'm glad. As you can see, I went ahead and just did the prerequisite, the requirement to take him to 3. I went ahead and did that one. He's one of the few I've done. So I'm liking this ship a lot.
Yeah, and Maurice also mentioned to me earlier that he thinks that the finalizer's ultimate ability is the best one in the game.
I think it's the worst one in the game. I think it's good to stop the MILF, and that's MILF and Anakin. That's about it. Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much garbage.
I wasn't that impressed with it when we were trying to get the ship. I'm like, okay, what's so special about it? And it just kind of sucked.
It's just I get that it's like a good starting point, but yeah, you basically have no ultimate ability, is what it is.
Well, basically, if you can't get to MILF or Anakin's ship first with the hunted, you're better off using just one of the other abilities. They really because you almost have to target Houndstooth first, so Houndstooth doesn't get the turn meter and taunt, right? So it's annoying. You have to stun, because that's the only way you can get to Anakin with the hunted. So that's a tip maybe to keep in mind. If you can't get to ships that thrive off turn meter and bonus turns, it's better probably just to use the regular ability and save that hunted. I mean, I've fought with this ship 20 times now. I have yet to get more than 2 hunted off in the battle. So it's again a 5-star. So
it's not good.
That's our number 2 ship to run with the finalizer. Moving along to our number 1 ship to run in your finalizer squads. What do we have here, Maurice?
The silencer. This ship.
The silencer.
This ship is this is the scariest ship in the entire game underneath the finalizer. It gets offense up, gets defense penetration, and just it's so many assists, takes so many turns. You start the match with Afterburner. It is nasty, and then we're all going to have our Relic 7 Kylos at some point or another. Oh, it's nasty. This ship is it's so fun. Yeah, I one-shot a Houndstooth with my special ability for 160k earlier. It was a lot of fun. I still lost, but it was cool to blow up the Houndstooth in one move. So that's still lost.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's lost handily, but I did get the Houndstooth down in one shot. It's cool. This ship has always been good, and it's actually got a capital ship now. Very, very good ship. Oh, man. A lot of people ran the Houndstooth, Cad Bane, Kylo trio to start for a little bit underneath Mace and some other ships, and that will work as well underneath the finalizer. So this ship is incredibly powerful. The single target damage-wise underneath the finalizer, I don't think anything even comes close to it. So, yes.
All right.
Yep. And the silencer is, again, a prerequisite. Going to be most likely a prerequisite for the Galactic Legend Kylo. I would go ahead and bet that that's going to be the case. So, I mean, if they're going to include ships, I would imagine the finalizer. Obviously your Relic 7 Kylo Ren unmasked, and then also the TIE silencer. So. But that's our number 1 ship to run with the finalizer. We do have an honorable mention, and that honorable mention is the Gauntlet Starfighter. Get out of town! Get out of town!
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good because with the entire First Order, when you got the shuttle and you've got all sorts of assists and turn meter mechanics, the problem is days. You can't get dazed or you're toast. And the Starfighter comes in. And it will cleanse. It will give protection up, give you a little more durability, which it needs desperately. This team protection up, and then also it will just remove all the debuffs. You can put this or Plo Koon here, but this one I actually put in because it won't disrupt really any other team, and it does have a form of buff immunity, which the First Order currently lack. If you do want to use Plo Koon, as I mentioned, the shuttle gets a ridiculous amount of protection up. It's not a bad ship to throw that taunt on either. It's a pretty durable ship if you do use Plo Koon, but he's probably with your GK fleet. But Starfighter, I know that's not a ship a lot of people have, but it's actually pretty useful here. I'm gonna run this ship. I'm gonna level up Super Commando one day and get this ship really decked out to the nines. You can see I don't even have Omegas and stuff on it right now, but
It's actually a really cool Empire ship. It's just it's really just the characters that are tied to it. Gar Saxon sucks, and so does the Starfighter. So I mean what's the name of that guy again? The Star Trooper or the
Imperial Super Commando.
Imperial Super Commando. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he's arguably one of the worst characters in the game.
Yeah, Imperial Super Commando. I mean, if they were good at all. I mean, I know that somebody love Gar Saxon? Wasn't that Mike Hunt or somebody that loved Gar Saxon or that?
I know. We got a Patreon on Operation Metaverse. Prime Force loves some Gar Saxon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but that.
But yeah, this is. It's important. That buff immunity is very, very important because you got to get through Houndstooth, and the other First Order ships have so much just firepower. You land that buff immunity, you can take out the Houndstooth real quick. So,
yeah, and the Gauntlet Starfighter, first time ever making a top 5 for anything, so that's great. It's got to be worth something to somebody. So, listen, guys, we're gonna go ahead and try a little experiment here. Take your mouse, scroll over to the thumbs up button, and click the like button because it makes us all happy inside. It's like, guys, come on, do it. It's the right thing to do. Okay? But we're going to go ahead and do some more gameplay, and we're going to do our questions and answers. Did I do something wrong?
you went roboto.
You totally went robo right when you were like, what? And it's like,
yeah. It's like time travel back to Lord Skunk Stream, Robo Reborn.
Okay, all right.
I thought, okay, should I say something? Was it me having internet problems or was it Rimon? So.
Okay, all right, I went robo. That's fine. But
you scared your internet with your excitement.
I'm sorry, guys. All I was saying is like the stream. It's the right thing to do. And besides that, we're gonna go back to some gameplay, and we're gonna do our Q&A segment. So for those of you that don't know, this is that time of the stream where you can ask questions and discuss topics. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask, any topics you'd like to discuss, please do type them into the chat with the title of question or topic, and we'll go ahead and scoop them up and discuss them now. I know that there have been quite a few while we've been going through this beginning portion of the stream, so we'll go ahead and scoop those up and ask them now.
All right, you answered one of them, so let me get rid of that one. There we go. Minato Namikaze. What is a better lead for the vets, Kira or ST Han in the meantime until they get their resistance tag?
I still go with Kira. I get a lot of defense in GAC as a backline team with Kira and Ness. I think they use Vander L3 and new and improved Young Lando. Just as a prepared team. You can mix that up. You can put Stormtrooper Han on that team. You can do a lot of stuff with that. I think Stormtrooper Han's a good lead too. I just have a preference with Kira because I use Nest terribly.
If you are leveling up your vet Han pretty much exclusively for this event, he's got a nice and high base speed. It's relatively easy to clock him just one speed slower than Kira. Yeah. Kira will lead with an AoE stagger, then Vet Han can immediately follow with the AoE and just hit all the staggers and remove all the turn meter. So, I mean, I would probably use Kira. I just think ST Han on that team probably will be good as well as a support. So I'm going to go Kira. Just, yeah.
I think Kira lead is better, personally.
Yeah. I don't know much about veteran smuggler Chewbacca. I never developed him. I just favorited him today. So I've had ST Han, or I've had Vet Han for a while. I used him in some ridiculous video that we did where I beat Freya with it. That was a long time ago. But the same sort of mechanic. Just followed Kira, just removed all the turn meter.
That's science.
Honestly, he's not as is. He's just kind of underwhelming. He's not. There's so many. I mean, I would even go with old school mustache Lando over Vet Han right now, as is. But. Yeah. All right. Next one. Hey, Zingy. Do you think we have to keep doing the event over and over to gain shards or something?
Yeah.
That is my new fear. Yes.
Yes. It's not a fear. It's going to happen. They answered the Q&A.
The way that post was worded.
Yep.
It's scary. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Bust your ass. Spend tons and time and effort and money. Get these characters a Relic 7, 5, and 3, and then take your time and slowly farm the characters.
And then enjoy your Grand Arena with your ruined roster while you get this character for the next year. It's just it's I dread that.
I know.
That would make a lot of sense for it to be that way. You know. So I think that would be that's what they're doing. That's definitely what they're doing.
That's science.
If you guys don't want to be disappointed when this event's released, imagine the worst possible scenario in your head and expect it.
You're on point there with that, my friend.
And then they're still going to surprise you. It's going to be even worse.
Well, that's just generally good advice for life, you know, just in general. You know, if you always assume the worst, you'll usually be surprised with positive things.
Right. Yeah.
Pessimism is the key to success.
Yeah.
All right. You got that one? Question. Is a balanced meta something that will never happen? This is from Minato Namikaze. So many teams can win on offense, but there will always be one team that holds slightly better on defense, and players will leave that in.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we were actually just discussing this a little while ago. I don't know if a balanced meta is possible. It has existed before. It has happened, so it's not like it's out of the question. It just seems like not the way they're rolling with it right now. It seems like right now they really want there to be like one dominant team in the arena. And that also depends on what eventually they care about. Like, I mean, the way that they do arena eventually may change altogether. So if that happens, that could change what we consider to be meta in the first place. But as long as they continue to have squad arena, I think that they will want to control who you need to have in order to get your 500 crystals every day at rank 1. So if that's the case, they're going to want to make it so that you have to have the most expensive characters to get that. You know what I mean? And that's that they realized that a long time ago, because that was not the case when the game first dropped. When the game first dropped, you know, there were characters from months ago that suddenly became meta, and, you know, you were able to use like different teams to win, and they were not good at controlling the meta when the game first came out. And then eventually they realized like that the key to, you know, holding all the cash flow was, you know, making sure that you hold all the power behind the characters that dominate arena. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did. So they changed the way they release characters. They did more testing with characters, and they found a way to kind of ensure that when they drop a character that's going to be the new meta that you have to chase, that character is going to be the most dominant one in the arena. So I mean, hopefully at some point, yes. I mean, maybe we'll have, like we were discussing earlier, like something where Rey can beat Kylo and Kylo can beat Rey, and both of them can beat Gas, you know, but we'll have to wait and see.
It would be cool if SWGOH like tracked offensive teams, like what people use. Like, you know, that would be a cool stat. Like an offensive meta and then maybe the defensive meta or something. That would be cool. They track everything else. I mean,
why not?
Yeah. All right. So we got another one here from Minato Namikaze. Now that we have so many cap ships, will we finally get to place more fleets on defense in TW and Grand Arena?
Nope.
I hope so. Otherwise, what the hell do we need the Radis and the Finalizer for?
I don't think they're going to be digging around with that for a while until they start introducing some more ships, right?
That's true.
Because, I mean, the problem is not the capital ships. Great, we got all these capital ships. We don't have enough goddamn ships in the game for these factions and teams. And some are overloaded. Like, GR has enough to make a Galactic Republic fleet, you know? And then you look at some of the other ones, it's like, you don't have enough. And they're lacking, some of the factions are lacking tanks, you know? And that makes a big difference. You know, if you don't have a tank, you're just begging to get slaughtered. So, I mean, Houndstooth cannot be the only answer. It's like, well, what you use for a tank, Houndstooth? I mean, it's just one Houndstooth. They have some work to do with ships.
in the Q&A, they kind of alluded to the bomber, you know, that the person asked the question was on the right track with the bombers being the tanks. So we might get another tank or two. Resistance and First Order needs more ships in general.
Yeah.
Like, Resistance has, 3, I think, and First Order has 4. So we're going to need some more ships just to fill out that faction alone. So,
you know, it's funny that answer, me and Finn started cracking up, just dying laughing, because they didn't answer the question. The question was, will there be more tanks? And they said, you know, I love the bombers, and started going through these different bombers. It's like, okay, so you like the bombers in the movies and all this other stuff, but you didn't answer the damn question. You know, it didn't even hint that they were even thinking about doing that. It was just like, you know, we love the bomber from episode 5. You know, and it's like, okay, great, you love that, and you think it's a great ship. Okay, and it didn't ever answer the damn question. Christ.
They're trying their best.
Yeah.
My best part was when Crumb said, you know, this is what you guys have been saying since the start. Crumb said it himself. He's like, you know, this really isn't the best format for Q&A.
We went off. We were like, you've got to be kidding. You've only been saying it since you started this, and like have been pounding them about like, and laid it out from like just the simple stuff you could do to do a better live reaction questions. I mean, Finn was just, we were just sitting there flabbergasted, like, really? That's your answer?
I mean, if only they, you know, if they were able to somehow put together a team of people that could answer questions.
It's just,
and release these things into like a video format, you know, and have maybe even early access to the content.
Well, you know, the 4 of us sit around every Sunday night for an hour and a half and do a live stream. I don't know why those guys with a programming degree can't do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just was flabbergasted at that response. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
I'm surprised that, especially since they have actually hired some people that have created content for the game already, that they didn't decide to hire an internal like content creator for the game. Like, I thought for sure that they by now would have like somebody who works for EA or Capital Games that does streams every week and is paid to do it.
Well, you remember,
right?
It's like, hey, you know, guys, we could do a live stream on YouTube. YouTube, what is this you speak of? What devilry is this? Well, you know, YouTube, where you can stream live and answer people's questions. Answer questions live? Surely you joke. Be gone, witch. You know, it's like, that's what I get a picture of in my head when I see that. God bless America.
All I'm saying is that finding out about these things on like the Galactic War Report or in a forum post are the most ridiculous 2 options that you could possibly do this in. I mean, like, you know, there are so many cool things they could. I mean, they have like guys who actually are like really good at making videos. You know what I mean? That were part of that Game Changer program, and they didn't utilize that at all. I mean. Yeah.
Well, you remember, Ramon, that like the Game Changer program, they actually had the guy that's making their videos, like the promotional videos for the characters and stuff. He actually came in and gave us a seminar on some of those Adobe programs. Like, it was like a 2-hour seminar with like their graphic designer, like their designer. It was awesome.
I don't get it.
I mean, they have the capacity to do it. They have the people that know how to do it. You know, they got this brand new studio that they were hyping up on the Q&A. You know,
I don't get it.
Put a green screen up one of the rooms. You know, it's not difficult.
They've got it.
They were garbage they got behind me. It works fine.
They were teaching us how to use After Effects and like, you know,
it was cool.
And they hired Nick, and Nick is a content creator himself. And it's like they didn't utilize that at all. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there was so much opportunity there for us to all be creating great content. And then you have guys that you did already spend time coaching up, right? Like, I mean, you know, if you go back to like when NLT 101 started making videos, you know, 4 years ago, when we first started doing this, you know, there's a huge progression because they've spent a lot of time investing into him to get him to the point, you know, not saying that they got him to the point that he's at, but I'm saying they helped him along the way. And it seems like, I mean, like, to just throw that away after all that time and money spent and effort put in. I mean, and the guy's now creating fantastic content. I mean, he's great at editing. You know, he's got fantastic abilities to talk and put together a good program. So it's like, to me, it's just kind of weird that they wouldn't have capitalized on that and they decided to just blow it up rather than try to at least, they could have kicked everybody out except for, Mobile Gamer and Arnold T101 and Cubs had just done like a 3-person Game Changer program, and that would have still been okay. We would be okay. I'd be happy with that. At least good for them. It doesn't make, and it's still good for the game because you still have people that are, that I trust to listen to, that would be doing, delivering the messages for the studio, but they were just really, really against, anybody else kind of being the voice of the studio was their main concern. So. Yeah.
Look at Ramon getting some Streamlabs action going on. Got a new little picture.
Little picture,
yeah.
BSP, thank you. Says some magic thoughts going on. Mark Dickey, you alive? No, he's not.
Ramon is sounding like Joe Biden right now. Okay. All right. All right,
let's see what else we got. This is a question for you lore masters. I heard you talking about Bane being in the High Republic era, but I don't think so because it's only 200 years from episode 1. But we may see Plagueis. Would you like to see him and his master?
I saw that question earlier. I'm excited about it. You go first, Ranger. You go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
What you know about Legends, forget it. It doesn't. It's an alternate universe, like the Kelvin timeline for Star Trek. Yeah, it's there and it's what we love, but Disney is not beholden to that shit whatsoever, right? The only thing, like, I did an actual lore video on Bane. The only thing that's official lore is that Yoda met him and that they said the rule of 2. It does not cover, like the books do, that are no longer canon, that Bane was 1,000 years ago, right? So Disney can take any character and do whatever they want with it because it's not canon to them until they make that decision. Darth Revan's not canon. Mary Jade Skywalker's not canon. Jason and Jaina Solo are not canon.
Well, actually, Darth Revan is now canon, officially.
Well, I'm saying, okay, no, that's true. So they did get in there, but by name only, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
They could still. Darth Revan could be a woman. I mean, we don't know.
They could change the entire, but they can change. Yeah. We know the story of the Old Republic timeline, and Malik and everything that happened then. Forget about that. Disney could take this story saga of Star Wars and do whatever they want. So if they brought Darth Bane in, wouldn't shock me one bit, because we know in the Legends where Darth Bane falls, right? There is a timeline in the Legends books that you can see every book that came out during that period for the EU, and you can see where the books fall in the canon wars. That shit's gone. It exists in our minds, but in Disney's mind, anything after that was there before they bought it is. So if they bring in Darth Bane and Darth Zana, they can do that because that's what they're capable of doing. So
I mean, anything is basically possible, like Ranger said. There's no way to tell, but what I can tell you is this: if they are going to try to keep it, like you said, like within that time frame, 200 years, because that's, initially when they first said a few hundred years ago, I thought they meant like 800 years. That's what the first initial rumors were about Project Luminous, and then now they're saying it's within 200 years. So there is a very good chance, like he's saying, that Plagueis could be there. But again, it's not even 100% canon that Plagueis is Palpatine's master. That's not canon yet. It just
wasn't Plagueis mentioned in one of the Clone Wars movies with
in episode 3 it says, have you heard about the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Now in the EU books, he was his apprentice, right? I mean, that's just the way it was. But they could change that now. And they can change whatever they want.
So Plagueis is canon, having been a Sith, but Plagueis being Palpatine's master is not canon right now. Palpatine has never said that Plagueis is my master. There was no, they're just assuming that Plagueis is his master because he was in the expanded universe. But that does not mean that he was in the new canon. In the new canon, Palpatine's master could be somebody completely different. So we don't know yet. I mean, we like to think that it would be Plagueis, but I mean, again, it's It's up to them as to who they think play. But it could be Plagueis. It could be Bane. They could have said that Yoda will definitely still be alive in this time frame. So Yoda goes back 200 years. He was that was probably at the peak of Yoda's power.
That's the only thing you can really rely on. I mean, no, he did not say it directly in episode 3. He said he killed him. He said, and he was so powerful. It said that he was killed by his apprentice. He never actually said I was his apprentice. Now in the books, they go back and in the EU books, you see the timeline develop. But again, that's no longer canon. The Plagueis book is no longer canon. This is where it gets really, it gets funky, right? And this is the thing that you have to understand. So everything that you think you know about the lore and story of Star Wars, it exists. There's no problem, but it's not canon in Disney's eyes. So, I mean, the Brotherhood of Darkness ended 1,000 years before episode 4 in the EU books, and then that's when Darth Bane and Zana came forward, right? That's where the Darth Bane novelization happens. But, Disney could turn that upside on its head. They could say the Sith ended 1,000 years ago, but the Rule of Two didn't happen until Hin, and they can change everything, guys. What you think you know about canon, you do, but it's not canon. Disney can change it on its head in a moment and come up with different stuff. I mean, for Christ's sakes, episode 9, they brought Palpatine back out of the blue. And if that doesn't tell you anything you need to know,
well, anything's possible.
Yeah. At this point, until they actually do a movie or a new book or novelization on it, it's and get specific. It's the unfortunate side effect of it, and that's why I'm glad Dave Filoni is kind of in charge of doing a lot of stuff, because he's trying to get some of that congruity back and stuff with some of these characters, and kind of stay true to what Lucas had when they worked on it and stuff like that. So
I hope Filoni one day runs Star Wars like Kathleen Kennedy does now. That'd be amazing if he does that eventually. I mean, if he eventually takes over for Kathleen Kennedy, that would be the perfect scenario for us for Star Wars fans out there that care about Star Wars. That would be the greatest thing to happen, for sure. Yeah. He would be like if he was like the Kevin Feige of Star Wars, that'd be great. Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see. There's a lot of things they could do here. I mean, going back 200 years, like we said, I mean, Darth Revan could be the Sith back then. I mean, as far as they're concerned, I mean, that could be where they bring Darth Revan in and say, hey, listen, it wasn't thousands of years ago that Darth Revan was around. Now, do I think that they would do that? No. I think they're going to save. No. I think they're going to save Revan for the Old Republic. I do think that they're going to do something.
I don't think they'll bring Darth Revan. I'm just saying that it was a possibility that they could.
Yeah.
But if they try to stay a little bit loyal to the fans here and stick with what people know, Darth Bane was 1,000 years before they and stuff. They've made him a canon, but I don't want them kicking around with that. So, hopefully Disney pays attention to what the community and fans are saying. Like, don't be dicking around with the Rule of Two. Just don't. I mean, there's certain things in place, and don't be doing like some of the stuff where you move stuff around to make it fit and make sense because it's what you want to do. That's not good storytelling in the sense that, especially for a product that exists already. But again, it's their product. They can do whatever they want.
It's in their hands now to screw it up or make it great. Fortunately, they have a blank slate. So if they hire some really creative people to do it, they can make a really great story.
Claudia Gray and all those writers that I saw in there that have written, I mean, some top-notch Star Wars writers, people that have, I mean, they've got some really, really amazing artists and stuff in there. I'm because of the people I saw working on the storyboard and because of how, Fallen Stars and some of the books that she wrote, I'm like, this is in good hands. I got some hope on this.
I like Sewell, the author of the Vader comics, and I think that he's great. He's doing the new line of comics too for Kylo Ren and the new Star Wars run for Vader. So I mean, I like him a lot, and
Thank you for Kage.
I'm looking forward to his new book that comes out. He's going to have a book, that's coming out in the fall. I better read that book, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these questions. So
yeah, we're pretty much we
got to get gone to the church on time.
Yeah.
We got one more here. Do you guys think the gas bug fix will affect the difficulty of the event? I don't think so, because you only fight gas in that third premeditated sort of predetermined round, yeah? I don't even remember, to be honest.
Well, the gas phase 4. What, in the gas event?
You fight gas?
Yeah, in the final phase.
Oh, yeah, then maybe.
Remember?
Yeah, maybe.
We try to blank that out. You know,
we try not to remember.
Horrifying.
Well, let's hope that it's the old gas. Let's hope.
I would imagine it is.
Yeah. Boy, if he gets those extra turns, it's gonna make that just.
Imagine they fix it and like now he's even harder and like nobody can get him anymore. That'd be ridiculous. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh God,
that would
so bad for you guys.
That could totally happen. Yeah.
But if you need something to make you just motivated and know that your suffering is not in vain, and you want to feel better about yourself, just go watch the 15 hours of shit I went through getting gas. So.
It's fun stuff.
Yeah, it's.
Well, guys, gas is coming back in a day and 3 hours. So get your gas. Get ready to rock and roll. That's it with the questions, right? We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here.
Think so. Let me check and see if any late came in. Nope, you're good.
Okay. All right, guys, listen, this was a good time. Great show. Really glad everybody came out and was able to support the stream and, provide, comments and feedback. And, it's always a lot of fun. So I appreciate everybody coming out. It was a great time. We'll be back next Sunday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time with a lot of love and a lot of Star Wars. Hopefully some more information about these Galactic Legend characters. Maybe we'll get the final 4 requirements over the next few days. Either way, hopefully coming out on the other end of this, I'll have gas. I'll see. I think I'm prepared this time. At least I hope I am. We'll see what happens. But for those of you that haven't gotten them yet, good luck this week getting your gas. And, obviously, start to get your pieces together for these Galactic Legends, at least the beginning portions of getting them to, like, Gear 12, etc., and the prerequisites. But, yeah, I wish everybody luck. Now, before we go, let's go ahead and take a round table turn here as to what's going on with the channels during the week. What's happening at Operation Metaverse this week, Maurice?
Streaming Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Join us then on YouTube.
Okay.
/ Operation Metaverse.
Link is in the description, guys, for Operation Metaverse, the Boba's podcast, Boba's Alliance podcast, and also Reality Skewed Gamers. Make sure you click on those links and subscribe to those channels, like those videos. What about Reality Skewed Gamers, Ranger? What's going on there?
Pretty standard stuff. Lunch streams. We got the Wednesday night stream. Saturday we'll have the Jedi Academy stream. In between we'll do some other fun stuff. We did our D&D campaign today as well, so we'll do that. We have marbles that we're doing. If you haven't had a chance to play marbles, it's a lot of fun. We do other games where we just get goofy and stuff like that. And I'm working on some lore videos. I recorded one. I did not like the way it came out. It was too long and some other stuff, so I'm doing the one for the Eternal Twins. That's what I'm owed, but I'm gonna try to get that done this week, and we're gonna try to make it look pretty. So a lot of lore videos coming down the pipe as well.
Yeah, and Minato Namikaze said earlier that he wanted to get a shout out for his boys, the Eternal Twins, and their sister. So hopefully,
at least they have the common decency to mention their sister. Trolling.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking forward to that video too. So whenever you get that up, I'm definitely checking that out. Make sure you guys check out again Reality Skewed Gamers. Ranger's got some great lore videos if you like those types of things. And with Boba's Alliance, Boba's podcast, what's going on there, Abby? Any news on that front?
No.
Okay.
Oh, nope. I haven't had time to do squat about it yet, so right. I really need to get my act together on that. So.
Yeah, well, you do a lot of things. Everybody, we all got tough lives. I get it, but yeah, no. The Boba's Alliance podcast already has some videos on there at this point. Go check that out. As soon as we get an update on more videos on that channel, we'll definitely, make sure to promote that on the next stream or the one after, whenever she gets something up there. But definitely go check out what's on there now, and there's a link in the description to that in the description, or link in the description in the video. So I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It definitely was a great time. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. May the force be with you guys, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.